Hey, this is Jeremy and Zan, and you're watching the Lotus Boxers.
What's happening, YouTubers? Lotus Boxers here. You got Jeremy Bertiarioni.
And Zan Syed.
And today we are coming at you with the fresh out of Star City Games Indy MONORED deck from Caleb Scherer.
Yeah, this deck is nuts.
This is a machine.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so well tuned. The risk factor just gets you cards and cards because we got all the burn spells and there's not enough life gain in this format to save you.
And I just want to give a shout out to Caleb Scherer. I talked to him at the event and he was so happy to let us use his list. And it was just, and he gave us like advice about the sideboard, and so that we're going to be able to give you guys the best kind of insight into what the cards are doing in the sideboard, because two of them are actually kind of unintuitive, but we'll get to that in a second. And a big shout out to JJ, who also placed really high with a mono-red list. If you guys have any questions about what the differences between those two are, we called JJ, and he actually says that he believes that his list has more game against the green decks. It's sort of more experimental frenzy focus, and also he's running a Rekindling Phoenix.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As you can tell from this deck, it's like a lot more all in focus, you know, like kind of that sly feel.
A little more sly in this one, I would say. Card choices are a little bit just what they are. We have the 1-drop suite of the Lavarunners and the Firebrands. Firebrand really good right now. It's going to trigger all of your spectacle cards when you really need it to.
Yep. We
have the 2-drops of Viashino Pyromancer, which is a wizard, which is going to combo with Wizard's Lightning. That's good deck building. In case you were wondering, Caleb Scherer good at building decks.
Yep.
And then we have a suite of burn spells that are just going to get us there. It's like, because we're so sly, the risk factors become a little better because we're going to put them a little more under the gun. It's harder for them to take forward in this deck than it is in some of the bigger experimental frenzy decks. And also we get to play a lot of risk factors because risk factors really bad with experimental frenzy.
Yeah, I completely agree. Risk factor and light up the stage, though, that's a combo.
That's a combo. Okay, you can cast it out of the light up the stage. Sure, and you're just getting so many cards of this version because it's like a slide deck, but I could see you having 4 or 5 cards in your hand at the middle stage of the game, which isn't usually true with these decks.
Yeah, basically risk factor, because of experimental's frenzy power by itself, and because enchantments were harder to deal with last format, trumped risk factor, and they didn't work well together as we saw last format. But now we have this good combination of risk factor and light up the stage, which I think trumps the frenzy, especially with cards like Mortify coming out. But moving on to the sideboard, we got some pretty cool things. Electrostatic Field, I've definitely seen that online, but I think it really showed its true colors in this list.
Yeah, Electrostatic Field's really good here. We have a really coherent plan against control. Zan, you explained perfectly how you have board against control, and then we got some extra follow-up from Caleb Scherer on it. So do you just want to explain that board plan?
Yep, so if I was playing this list, if someone handed me this list, I would just board out the 4 shocks and the Lava Coil for the experimental frenzy, the risk factor, and the 3 Electrostatic Field. But if Caleb Scherer pointed out that he wanted the direct current over some of the Chainwhirlers, and to me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not on board with that. But Caleb has convinced us that it's the way to go, and so we're gonna give it a shot.
We're definitely gonna try it out. And also, I want to point out that that's good because the direct currents and the Electrostatic Field's combo, because it is casting a spell twice.
Yep.
And it's true that they're going to have answers for our little guys like Chainwhirlers. So I can see it. I get what happened. You know what I mean? And I think that I'm always going to say that plans are really important.
Yeah.
So Caleb definitely had a plan.
No, for sure. But then again, paying 3 mana for a shock effect isn't feeling like what the power level of this deck is, but Chainwhirler is. And the flashback isn't necessarily free. So that's where my head's at with this. But I think that once we dive in, then we will see which one feels better.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Let's jump into a game. All right, here we are. And Zan, what do we think about this hand?
I think that it has the perfect amount of land and the perfect amount of spells.
I think red decks are kind of, we'll just keep this and see what happens.
Yep, let's go Rusty Gates. Godless Shrine.
Okay, so we're thinking after the latest tournament, this is probably like an Esper build, but it could also be like a more Creature focus deck. What 1-drop do you want to lead on? So typically in these red decks, you want to lead on the non-hasters for turn 1 so that they can attack the next turn, so it's more damage that way.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be playing Ghitu Lavarunner.
Yeah.
I like to value my Ghitu Lavarunners a little bit more because in the late game I could be able to fire Wizard's Lightning if they just keep dealing with everything. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so I think in this situation we have to get rid of this guy.
That guy makes lifelinkers? Is that true? No, it's just
no,
1/1. It's still gonna block us from the game. Oh, but we have the Chainwhirler.
Interesting. So if we play the Fanatical Firebrand and Skewer it, we at least get to get in 1 this turn. If we don't do anything, we don't get any damage. But this is expending 2 cards.
We could just play the Firebrand.
And then the Ghitu Lavarunner pass the turn.
Well, we could play the Firebrand and attack with the Ghitu Lavarunner.
Yeah, but then that ends up being 2 cards as well. I think the most conservative play is probably play Fanatical Firebrand, Ghitu Lavarunner, pass the turn, untap, play Goblin Chainwhirler, use the Fanatical Firebrand to get rid of it. That way we use 1 card for 1 card. And if he made more creatures,
they're all dead with the Chainwhirler. All right, let's do that.
All right.
We actually had a guy come up to us in Indy and he said, I love how Jeremy goes totally off the rails, and then you're like, yeah, but we're going to make the right play. So that just kind of happened, right? I was like, we could use all our cards to kill this hero. And Sam's like, yeah, but, let's just play it good. Yeah. Dovin Bond is going to wreck us here, I'm just going to call it. What do we even do?
Dovin Bond. I hope our opponent plays the Dovin Bond.
He might. He could do anything right now. It's a second main phase.
All right.
So there's no absorb because that's 2 blue.
Ooh. All right, let's jam our Chainwhirler. We have a plan and we're gonna execute it.
Great.
I think our opponent's actually holding Mortify.
That should be fine.
Yep, it just makes a lot of sense. Alrighty. So it was really important that we did that, because if we let the Goblin Chainwhirler resolve first and then shoot it, he has an opportunity to mortify and save his 1/1.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that's just a little bit of advice on sequencing.
Sequencing is important. A lot of people are going to lose that edge, and they're going to end up with this field against a 1/1, which is just a little worse. Wow, you read that Mortify.
Yep, he had the Mortify.
That's crazy.
And then we'll attack for 2 and pass on.
What's worst case here? Bellhaunt? Whoa.
Yeah, I was thinking another hero, and I can't really think of a removal spell that would put us in a bad spot. Interesting. So I'm either thinking Pyromancer, Skewer, or strike the face, or just strike the, or just to strike this.
I like striking the face, skewering the hero, and then attacking for 4.
Interesting.
That seems like it's the most damage, right?
Yeah, it seems like it's the most damage, but basically the reason why I don't think it's the most damage is because the Pyromancer doesn't get on the board.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, we end up getting in more damage with the 2 creatures that we have. But yeah, if you think that our opponent has a board wipe, definitely very...
Well, this way sort of plays around a board wipe, but Pyromancer's a good shock. Once we hit him, that would be hitting him for 7 this turn, puts him to 8. So we have a shot, which would be virtual 6. So we only need to draw 2 more burn spells to just win if he doesn't gain any life.
Alright, we'll go with their play this time.
Let's see what happens. Alright. Strike you. No. Yeah. Skewer this.
We could have also just aimed it at the face, put him down to 9, and offered the trade. Ooh.
Got a 1/1.
Yep, got a 1/1. Tapped a creature. Alright, We're getting in for 2.
Nice.
Yeah. This card definitely put us in a position because it has lowered the value of this card. Whoa, it's Dovin.
Dovin, finally! We can just kill it? Is that true? That we can just kill it with our Viashino Pyromancer?
It is true.
Well, I like that play.
I'm gonna attack him first.
Okay, see what he does.
Yep.
See, I told you Dovin was good. Look, now he has a Planeswalker.
It's very interesting for sure. Okay, so you have him at 9. We kill the Dovin. And we pass the turn. We hold the land because we have Risk Factor in it.
Perfect.
Yep.
Makes so much sense to me. And Risk Factor would be a beating right now with him at 9.
Yep. He's at 9.
This is the Bell Hunt.
Oh,
No!
maybe I should have played around the Bell Hunt.
Should have, maybe.
Ooh.
Do you want to just say go?
Yeah. I feel like I don't feel like trading 2 cards for 1.
This looks like Wyatt Darby's Esper mid-range deck, right? Oh, but did he have Teferi?
I don't remember him having Teferi.
Wow. Opponents got a little something going here.
Yep.
I want to play this deck. Look, he could have had 2 blue-white Planeswalkers out. That's crazy.
It is crazy. I think we should fire off this Lightning Strike.
Where?
Teferi.
We gotta kill Teferi.
Yeah, I don't think we can afford to hit just face now. Because this takes 2 cards, but we get rid of a Teferi.
I want to see a Risk Factor for us. Nice, we got there.
Alright, so I think I'm gonna take this out. I think I'm gonna take a gamble here. I'm gonna attack 2 here and this over there. And if he has a removal spell, he has a removal spell.
Looks like no. I think their 2-mana removal spell is going to be tap your guy most of the time.
That makes a lot of sense. Our opponent's down to 3 cards. We might have a shot, especially if you draw a card like Risk Factor or Light Up the Stage.
Good. We're doing it. We're burning them.
Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Alright, we're just gonna play this.
Now you're at 11.
Yep. And I like to think that our opponent's virtually at 6 because we have the option to attack with 3 creatures. Not 6, I would say 7.
Ooh. Put 2, gain 3. That card is so good.
Yeah. It is very good.
My opponent played it after a Seraph of the Scales died against me, and he just like was back in a game that I considered over.
That's brutal.
Opponent's doing everything.
I don't think we can take this game. It feels very bad for us.
Risk Factor does 8, and that puts him to 6. Yeah, I mean it'd be tough.
I could have double blocked this, but it would have taken out both of our creatures.
All right, let's pack it in for here and try getting in the post-board games.
Yeah. I just want to get a little bit more information and then concede. Yep, concede. Dunzo.
Okay, so against these Esper mid-rangey piles, I like the Lava Coil because the Basilica Bell Hunt's a really big deal, and also we don't mind using them on a hero.
Risk Factor for sure.
Oh, we definitely wanted that the whole time.
Experimental Frenzy would have been nice.
Okay, so let's bring in just these 5.
Let's think about his deck a little bit more. He did have Planeswalkers. The shock seemed good. What did we not like? I really felt like we didn't need the Lava Coils. I know they had the 3/4, but I felt like it comes down a little late.
Okay, so let's actually take out our Lava Coil that we have in the main.
Yeah, let's just take it out.
And now we're just trying to put 2 cards in?
Yeah, correct. I wouldn't mind boarding out a Skewer.
Okay.
And then now we have a lot more cards that take us into the late game.
Great.
Alright, let's give it a go. Another option we had was Electrostatic Field, but I felt like it was a little too slow.
Interesting.
Whoa.
This hand's cool.
We're gonna keep it.
Nice. It's got 4 extra cards in it.
So yeah, next turn, worst comes to worst, could be a shock into light up the stage.
We're burning them out, YouTube. We are gonna shock them turn 2. In standard, when your opponent shocks you on turn 2, you know what's up now. They're gonna light up the stage.
I'd be interested to know if this Esper deck boards out its 2-drop.
The hero?
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in this Esper deck.
Alright, time to shock.
Shock you, turn 2. That means that we're gonna light up the stage.
Hitting 2 lands would be sad, but 1 land is great.
2 lands would be sad, 1 land's great. And the Pyromancer is, you know, us on the board, not nothing.
And it activates our the other light up the stage.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm digging this deck, but I'm not sure if we're playing against a good matchup.
If you can't beat your bad matchups, then, you know, what are you even doing?
True.
I feel good about this game. We're on the play. We seem to have something like 6 cards in our hand.
Mm-hmm. Feel pretty good.
Let's see what our opponent does. Right now, we're going to make a play.
Come on, Rusty Gates.
Wow, too slow.
Ooh, Discovery.
As Sonic the Hedgehog once said, "You're too slow."
Sonic references. So, what level are you on Sonic Heroes?
Sega Heroes, I'm
Sega Heroes.
Sega Heroes. Sonic Heroes is a different game, actually.
Ooh, tell us about that game.
Basically, it came out for the GameCube, original Xbox, PlayStation 2, and it was fine. It was a game where there were 3 types of characters. There was a flying character for every like team. There were a couple of teams, so it's like Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails. You had a speed character, a flying character, and like a strong character. And then it was weird because they introduced like this like random team that had like a chameleon and a crocodile and a bee. And I'm sure our viewers are all going to be like, that team wasn't random. They first appeared in the Sonic comic book series. But it was weird, right? Because it was like, and now the invisible chameleon, and everyone was like, I'm not familiar, you know, and it was like that. But it was one of the games that kind of came out, and it didn't have very good graphics, but it was a good Sonic game, which is really rare because usually Sonic makes bad games. And they kind of had an interesting mechanic where you had to switch your characters to fit the situation. So there'd be like times where you needed to fly, or times where you should go really fast. So that was cool.
Ooh, it's Dovin again.
Oh, we lose.
Alright.
They gained a life. It's over.
We're just gonna... We're actually going to untap because if you draw a Chainwhirler, then we get to get a little bit more value. But we did not. We're gonna shock this.
Dovin gained quite a bit of life here. It ate a shock. It ate a hit from Pyromancer, and also it just gained a life on its own. So that was a 5-point swing. I don't mind that. Dovin looking really strong there.
I still need a little bit more convincing, but it does seem like a pretty interesting card.
He's blue!
He is very blue.
Lotus Box has a color blue.
Yep.
Dovin. We're there, if you ask me.
I don't know. I'm not persuaded by just colors. I'm about to play.
Let's just 5 our opponent right now. I'm bored.
Whoa.
Whoa. Just need to let your light shine down.
Shock. It was that easy?
We just shocked it? I thought he was going to do something.
Me too.
Okay, so if we hit him to 12, we have 6 in our hand, which means that we're going to win.
I hope.
What could he have here? He only has 5 cards in his hand. Wow, that's a lot of cards.
He's putting this on top of our library. No.
He's just destroying it. Ooh, do we want a Wizard's Lightning instead of discount? We have 6 mana anyway.
Well, our opponent has cards like Hero, so we can't afford to just
burn our Wizard's Lightning for no reason.
Yeah.
What about this Dovin?
Dovin, let's go.
What if he ticks it up? That'd be so heads up.
Yep. I'm gonna respond. Goodbye, Dovin.
What do you think of the new spell Quench? Some of these decks are playing Quench.
Interesting. Play land because we still have Experimental Frenzy in our deck.
Yeah, so just we can have one of those crazy turns.
I mean, it's getting to the point that we might need a crazy turn. Alright.
We maybe should have even brought in the direct current. I mean, this is a lot of 2/2s.
Yeah, I think direct.
And Dovin goes to 2 when you minus it. Ooh.
I think I'm gonna start playing towards Experimental Frenzy.
Great. It's kind of becoming our only out to win. We've drawn a lot of lands. Right now we have 8 in play.
Yeah, for a red deck, this is quite a bit.
But we're almost out. We have 42 cards in our deck. 12 lands left.
Deputy. Ooh,
Just the blank deputy. How sad is that?
that's our life right now.
And that's our life right now. All right, here's a 1/3. Our clock is doubled.
I love the fact that this deck has a discard a card, draw 3, 3, 4, or 4.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I thought that card was kind of underpowered when I first read it, but it's showing up in standard.
Yep.
I guess
Collins had it in Two-Headed Giant, so I really felt the power in Two-Headed Giant.
look, it's 2 cards into it. Wow, now we have 10 lands. There are only 10 left in the deck, and there are 40 cards. That's a good percentage. That means we're almost out.
Yeah. If you just draw a risk factor, I feel like we're in the game.
Well, less so now.
Chainwhirler.
Chainwhirler.
Our opponent's almost back at 20. How is this possible?
Anything's possible when you're playing Esper mid-range.
If he plays Dovin here, I will say Dovin.
Well, he would have played it first main because the tick up just makes it ultimate next turn.
Ooh,
Nice.
Step 1.
Goodbye, everybody.
Chainwhirler. We have not forgotten about Chainwhirler, God.
Chainwhirler featured in our last video, the Death Whirler video, still helping us out here in MONORED. The thumbnail should just be the exact same, just Chainwhirler. Ooh. We should wait for him to get a bunch of 1/1s before we lightning strike this.
I want the value now.
Oh my gosh, we get to eat a deputy? Amazing.
And he takes a damage.
And we attack next turn.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, you know, we're still not out of the woods, but we are getting back into it.
Yep. This red deck has the power. We're really close.
For you, you're at 13, you know.
I was really hoping to draw a light up the stage there. I felt like a divination would help.
All of our sort of like spells that get us there, right? We have Experimental Frenzy left. We're still drawing to Risk Factor and Light Up the Stage. Those are all very strong.
Yep.
Oh no! Our opponent has a card they can play. What's going on? They have so many cards in their hand. What is in there? Is this Lyra? This guy. We can beat it on board. We get to attack.
Yep, hopefully. Okay. Let's just play another one. Nothing to hide. That's the silly part about holding the lands in your hand. You might have to discard them. Right, so our opponent's virtually at 11. This game doesn't seem impossible.
I'm still just waiting for one of our golden ticket cards, man. Risk Factor. Light Up the Stage. Michael Jordan. I don't know what it becomes obvious that I just have no clue. Do you want to ping him so that we still have one? Yes.
Alright. See what we draw.
Not bad.
Interesting.
We need a few of those, but that's one of those.
We can continue attacking.
Of course. I love the attack. Interesting that he didn't attack. Oh. So we let first strike damage happen. Nice.
Alright. So the game is kind of swinging, but our opponent's down to just 3 cards.
We lost our teeny boy.
Don't play Teferi. Ooh,
Not really going to do anything.
We're just going to ping now.
Of course. He's good for damage.
Our opponent's virtually at 8. Down to 1 card. Taking 4, then 6.
A Risk Factor just kills him if he's at 8.
That is true.
We have 4 in our deck now?
Yep, we do have 4. lot of cards I would take here. Ooh,
All right, let's pay 3 for a light at the stage.
I am down.
Oof. Now we're really close to done.
Alright, we got a land. And might have to kill this hostage taker.
So we take. I want to give it one more turn.
So you want to take the 6?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Because we can kill the hostage taker.
It's still 2 turns, right? Because 4 and 4 is the same as 6 and 6. When we're at 8.
If the game's not over yet, we have a lot of live draws here.
Do you want to inset Wizard's Lightning for the Experimental Frenzy? Ah. You're killing me. It was 13 lands, and we have 32 cards left in our deck, 7 of which are lands. Crazy.
Well, that was unfortunate. We drew a lot of lands.
Well, yeah, we drew a lot of lands, but
Risk Factor was the next card.
that's why we look, right? That's why we look.
I really believe that looking at the next card really helps build your tolerance. You know, tilt tolerance is a real thing.
I don't feel like I tilt anymore, and yeah, I mean, there you go. So there you go, YouTube. Sometimes your awesomely designed red deck by Caleb Scherer draws a million lands, and you should have gotten a card deeper somehow.
Yeah, it is totally possible that we should have brought in the direct currents as well as electrostatic fields. Not being familiar with this matchup could have potentially cost us, but drawing that many lands with the red deck is probably the reason.
Probably the reason we lost. Probably it was a significant percentage. So that's mono red. I think the deck tech was really good.
Yep.
Yeah, we are so happy, and we're going to be giving you lots of standard content. Watch out, because our next video is probably going to be on Arena.
Yes.
That's exciting. So yeah, this was the Lotus Boxers, and thanks so much. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check the list in the description box down below. You can also find it on StarCityGames.com.
Yep.
Or you could just hit up Caleb. He's a great guy, and he's willing to share with us some of his information, some of his knowledge. So again, thanks so much to Caleb.
Yep. Thank you, Caleb, and thank you, Julie.
All right. See you next time, YouTube.
See ya.
What's happening, YouTubers? We just wanted to give a big thanks to you guys for us reaching 100 subscribers already. We have a lot of stuff planned for you guys, a lot of new content coming out, and it's been a journey so far, but we just love all the support that we're getting from the community, and I just wanted to say a big thank you to everybody. I've never felt so motivated to make this stuff for you guys.
No, for sure. We've had this idea in our head for a while now, and we're just glad to have brought it to you guys.
And I just want to say to all of our subscribers now that you're in the first 100. You can say no bandwagon when we're famous.
True that.
So thanks so much for the no bandwagon Lotus Boxer fans. And, can't wait to show you guys more content. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. That is going to, and you can tell us the kind of stuff that we will make for you. And honestly, we're just sitting here making stuff, so we'll probably make it.
And honestly, I can't see through these glasses.
Well, I am completely blind, so
that's that.
And yeah, enjoy that. And you guys have an awesome time. Thanks so much for the subscribers.